Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Rose.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
We have made it to our day 13 edition of Big Brother 28 live feed spoilers. Lucky number 13. We are now on the other side of the veto competition. The veto ceremony is taking place tomorrow. Devens has got some really interesting decisions to be made, and we already have a lot of people playing and doing some things that might be considered a little bit unexpected here.
Very, very, very unexpected moves coming from Lyric. I mean, it all ends up where you think it's going to end up in the end, but it was interesting to see her, being pretty pissed off with Rome, what was going on, her kind of flirting with Chuck. I mean, her going to Devens and kind of handing the bus schedule over to Rome. It was really interesting this journey that she took, but where she ended up, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Lyric is a little bit more of a fascinating player. I will at least say this, than I gave her credit for 24 to 48 hours, because it's like, I do think she is invested in this showmance, but at the same time, we see this a lot with players in showmances where something happens where they're both in danger and they will just be like, I'm going to take one for the team. Get rid of me. Take me out. They're just like so dramatic about it. And I appreciate at least that Lyric, I feel like she does want to be in this game. I think she probably would do rather well in the event Rome does get evicted this week, because she's not going to have like anywhere near that sort of target on her anymore.
Yeah, it feels nice that she's at least momentarily kind of got her head on straight, because it did feel like, does she really want to be here or not? I mean, is she just really here to have a summer romance? Is she playing the game? I wasn't really sure. But before we get into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button and stick with us throughout the whole season. We will have Big Brother live feed updates for you every single day here at the channel. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you as well to everyone joining our YouTube memberships. We have a new Big Brother exclusive over there that is all about what newbies can do in a game where you're surrounded by these 3 reality TV veterans who have all of this experience. What sort of challenges are they up against? What have they been dealing with historically? This actually ties into the update today in some really fun ways. And by joining our YouTube memberships, you're going to get weekly Big Brother exclusives you cannot get anywhere else. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, let's just start off here by laying the groundwork of some of the facts. So obviously, Rick Devens is the HOH. He nominates Melody, Lyric, and Jason. And then the veto draw happens. And joining those 4, you have Barrett, and then you have Angela.
This was a really good draw for the tool shed. I mean, it couldn't have gone any better than this. And, Rick has said that he was hoping that somebody in his group was going to be able to get this veto so that they could pull somebody off and get Rome up there. Yeah. They just didn't want Rome having a chance to play. Yeah. And he doesn't.
It was mission accomplished in that sense. A very good draw. I think for Angela in particular, she was probably just thinking somewhere in the back of her head, I don't know if I'm going to win this veto, but historically, you're probably not having to compete in the egg costume. So I think she was probably just happy to just have a little bit of a break from carrying that heavy thing around everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun for us to watch, but it sounds like it's kind of a nightmare to actually wear this thing. It's really heavy. It's really hot.
Yeah, I think the thing we forget about with Vince last season, and understandably so, because all of our memories with Vince are him crashing out and everything with Morgan, is that he was actually an athlete, and he is physically strong. This is so much harder, I think, on Angela than it was on Vince, and I expect it's probably going to get worse before the end of the week.
If I had to wear that egg costume, I would just be dead in a corner. There's no way I'd be able to carry that thing around. I'd be in there overheating. I just no, thank you.
All right, so who ended up winning the veto?
It's Devens. So he can do anything he wants. He's got the HOH. He's got the veto. Things are looking very good for him.
Yeah, and apparently he's going to have a pretty big target on himself now, too, winning these 2 competitions. But at the same time, it seems like Jason was pretty close to winning this thing. And when it kind of comes down to the 2 of them, Devens has said this time and time again. He either wants Rome or Jason out this week. These are the two people he is really, really focused on. You can't have Jason winning the Power of Veto, because then you're in a situation where maybe Rome wins the blockbuster and then you don't end up getting rid of either one of them.
Absolutely. So this worked out really, really well for him. It feels like he's going to have an opportunity to get one of the two of them out.
Yeah. All right. So airing out grievances is going to be a big part of this video as we move forward, and we'll start with us airing out a little bit of a grievance about production, because according to Lyric, like, the pieces, this was like a puzzle thing. They were really, really heavy to lug around, and I guess by doing a quote unquote puzzle, you're trying to be like, oh, this is a fair, equitable comp that anyone can compete with. But is it a coincidence that, like, the people who did the best here are the men who have an easier time carrying around these pieces?
Absolutely. I am only 5 feet tall. If I had to do this, there's no way. I am not athletic. I am a non-athlete. There is no way, unless it's like as light as a feather.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a very hard time lifting those pieces. Like, it's unfair. Absolutely. My beef hat is on for that.
Very, very much it should be. But all right, here we are. Devens has the veto. Let's get into some of the immediate aftermath of it, because I think, for the tool shed, the Camus group that has the D group, like, they're all just very, very happy. Rome did not win. Rome did not compete. Getting Rome out of the game right now is still the goal. Like, nothing has fundamentally changed on any of that.
No.
But then we do get to Lyric. Lyric, who campaigns right away. Like, she's already out here talking to Chuck, talking to Yash, trying to promise the two of them safety in some sort of shape or form. And, those two guys, they talked a little bit afterwards. Lyric is going to be safe, most likely, if she ends up remaining on the block, which isn't that much of a surprise. Like, the only real motive to get Lyric out this week, is that she and Rome are in a showmance. And if you can't get rid of Rome, like, is there at least an argument to try to split the two of them up?
I mean, there is, obviously. I mean, showmance, you don't want a showmance in the game, but at the same time, I mean, until the past, like, 24 hours, Lyric hasn't really been doing anything.
Yeah.
So splitting them up, you ensure that you don't have them voting together, but it's still pretty early in the game.
Yeah, and I will give Lyric some credit for playing a reasonably good performance, because there were parts of yesterday, and you mentioned this a little earlier, where it did feel like, okay, is Lyric really just jumping ship on Rome? Like, she's out here talking to D and blaming Rome, being, oh, it's Rome's fault that we're in this position. It's Rome's fault my game is like this, because,
Right. It's not your fault at all, Lyric, that you put yourself in this position at all. It's all Rome.
Yeah, like, can you blame him for what he said to Devens? Like, sure, you weren't in the room, but at the same time, you willingly made the decision to be aligned with this guy. You got into a showmance with this guy. You have seen that this guy is very emotional, and that means he's going to be reactive as well.
This is what you got to do. I mean, Rome is burning. What do? You got to get out.
Yeah, you got to find other people to talk to. And, like, she did go and try to have some reasonable conversations, indicating, she'd rather him go home than her, which I know that's, like, yeah, given, but, like, as we've said with showmances, it's never quite that cut and dry. So it's actually kind of refreshing in this case that it is.
Yeah, I mean, usually in showmances, you don't necessarily see the other person going and just handing the bus schedule. You try to, like, save you both. So the fact that she's in this spot might be part of, like, they haven't been together very long. We are really early in this game.
Yeah.
They barely know each other. So at this point, she may just be like, Rome is burning. I have to get out of this. I haven't been with him for that long. So let's just get rid of him.
Yeah. And I feel like Lyric is a little bit more realistic about this relationship than Rome is. And I think some of that is also just that Rome is constantly like, I love you. I love you. And he's just, like, so over the top with it, like, all of the time. Now, Rome seems to be okay on some measure with what Lyric is doing. Like, he's given her advice as to how to campaign to Devens. And I think if this was a different situation and the blockbuster wasn't in play, maybe he would be thinking a little bit differently.
Yeah, I think he just feels pretty confident that he can get through with this blockbuster and that she will still be okay.
Yeah. I think he's just sort of thinking from that vantage point of, all right, if Lyric just gets off the block, I can go on the blockbuster, I can beat Jason, I can beat Mel, it's all going to be okay. We're going to both be in the house moving forward. And at least Lyric will be safe and I won't have to feel any sort of guilt in competing in the blockbuster, because it does feel like if Rome was competing in the blockbuster against Lyric, he probably would be doing the whole knight in shining armor. Oh, I'm flopping so that you can stay in the game. I'm giving up everything, and I would just roll my eyes out of my head.
Bye, Rome. If you're gonna do that and you're willing to give up all that money for somebody that you've met for like a couple of weeks, then you gotta go. Like, I don't want to watch people in this game that don't want to win.
Yeah, and I just feel deep down that Rome, push come to shove, like I feel like he would be more like that than Lyric is going to be. And I mean, Lyric has even eventually gone to Devens, and like she's tried to promise him the world, apologizing for the lack of game talk. And yes, it is very hard to game talk when you are showmancing with one person for the majority of the season. Like, she is trying at least to do and say the right things.
And it does sound like Devens is listening, which is really interesting.
Yeah, versus Rome, who has said, and I wish I was exaggerating this, that he never wants to speak with Rick Devens again. It's just how petty. You're the one who said what you said that Devens took and then said at the nomination. Devens wasn't making things up. He didn't do you dirty. You did yourself dirty. Rome is just pouting now in a corner, being mad that he got called out.
Okay, listen, Devens did do him dirty, and I'm okay with this. I mean, it was such a baller move to find out who Rome's like main three are, and then really just like throw everybody up on the block and then throw out all the rest of the names. Rome did some of this to himself, of course. He could have not answered that question. Why would he give this information to the HOH, somebody to Devens that he is not working with and he didn't have a relationship with? Yeah. Why would you give that information to him? However, Devens took that information and did him dirty, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it's just the game. This is what happens in the game. Rome, you just got to deal with it. And if you stay in the game somehow this week, I'm actually just really curious. Are you going to try to go the rest of the season without ever talking to Rick Devens at all?
Listen, I mean, it's not like we haven't seen people get iced out in this game where they're just, completely ignored. That does happen, and it happens pretty often.
This is a season where it seems like a lot of people are taking things personally. Like, hopefully it doesn't go too negative. I mean, negative Big Brother isn't always the most fun to watch, but as long as we kind of stay on this petty level, I'm okay with that. But let's go back now to Lyric, because one thing we at least know about Lyric right now is she's gonna flirt. This is gonna be her strategy. She is gonna try to find a way to use this to her advantage, even if she isn't a showman.
So Lyric's out here now flirting a little bit with Chuck, and Chuck has told Devens that he's fine with it. He likes the idea of this annoying Rome. But if I was Chuck, I'd also kind of be like, I know that this isn't really that real, so it's a little bit strange to know that they've been like kind of rolling around in bed and now you're over here flirting with me. It's not like D, who's just a big flirt and kind of flirting around. Like, these two are in like what seemingly is a full-on relationship. So it's like, they had a little fight and now she's over here flirting with me. I would just be like, getting the icks. But Chuck's not taking it that way. He thinks that this will just be a cool thing to annoy Rome with.
I don't know if Chuck is just bored. Chuck is a hard person to read in general, because like he's just been so tight with Haley and Camus. Like, he spent a little bit more time with Yash lately, but it's hard to really know where his head is at with almost anything at this point. But like, this flirtation happens, Rome's not around for it. Rome is a little bit around more for some conversations between Camus and Lyric, where Lyric is getting a little bit chummy with Camus. Rome gets, like, once again, very pouty, very upset about it, gets very, very jealous. And it's just like, is there anything this week, Rome, that you are not going to be annoyed or pouty about? Like, you want Lyric to play, you then can't. How mad are you going to be then if Lyric is out here playing?
I think the thing is he wants her to play, but he doesn't want her to go and flirt with everybody. And I think he is just not really understanding that flirting is gameplay. It
Yes.
has been throughout reality TV forever. It's part of gameplay. I think he was just hoping she was going to have a different strategy, but that is not what is happening here. Rome is just going to be pissed off no matter what. He got just taken down by Devens, and it's really sitting on him.
It's sitting on him. It's making him
Now his woman is out here flirting it up with everybody. Nothing good is happening to Rome.
Rome is just such a frustrating player because it's like there are moments where it feels like if he had never been in a showmance, if X, Y, and Z hadn't happened, like maybe he would be a much better player because his reads, not all of his reads are terrible. Like he is able to clock what Devens is trying to do this week, like the whole end game of making sure him or Jason leaves. Like he recognizes as well that Kamu's trying to play all sides and doesn't trust him. Like he's even also been like, I want to go after all the vets. Like he has some level of awareness here.
The problem is Rome was always going to end up in a showmance. If Lyric, for whatever reason, ended up leaving this week, he is going to end up in another showmance. The fact that we preseason saw him say that this is the way that he basically is making sure his business keeps coming back, he'll flirt a little and whatever, and keep everybody a little bit kind of interested and having a fun time. This is just the way he is. So I just feel like if Lyric, for whatever reason, ended up going, and I don't think that that's what's happening here, but if for whatever reason she ended up going, he is going to try to get into a showmance with somebody else.
Yeah, you're probably right. I just don't think Rome is capable of anything else. And I think this is just one of those classic cases of sometimes with Big Brother, you have people who have a little bit of potential, but just consistently like turn up their nose at it. And it's just like, nope. This is not what I'm interested in. I would rather play Love Island. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to play Love Island with Lyric, and then that's it. All right, so let's get into what Devens is actually going to do now with the veto. Because Lyric has presented some information, and it did feel like at various points overnight that Devens was pretty set on, all right, I'm going to go ahead and do this, even though like it didn't feel like that great of a move because you're basically allowing Lyric then to vote during the week, and you don't know how everybody is going to vote. Like, you don't want her casting a vote to save Rome, do you?
Yeah, it's a very weird idea that he wouldn't just save Melody, keep Lyric on the block, put Rome on the block, make sure that either you're breaking up a showmance or you're getting Jason out.
Yeah, and like he did have conversations with Angela, with Kamu, oddly a voice of reason at times in some of this, and it seems like he could very well save Melody at this point. Like, you know, there's still a lot of time between now and the veto ceremony. I don't think it's 100% set in stone at this point, but I do just sort of feel like in general, it's always better in Big Brother. Go ahead and just get rid of somebody who there is no saving them when it comes to how they feel about you. Like we talked about this yesterday, like Melody and Devens, they have at least had some conversations, whereas Lyric's never going to be back on Rick Devens. Like, she has complained about Rick Devens endlessly since the nominations happened.
Absolutely. And Melody is a little bit closer with Drew, close with Devens. I just feel like Melody is the way better choice, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
I get it. You're hearing different pitches, and Devens really does listen to everybody's pitches. You never know, right? And he is a game player. But there's definitely a lot more security with keeping Melody as a possible vote for you.
Yeah.
Lyric could just be mad about everything. You don't actually know what's going on.
No, you don't. And this is also, you got to think ahead here. Like, if Melody ends up getting head of household, could she put up Devens? Sure. But I think there's also a chance she goes after Haley because a lot of people want Haley out of the game.
Yes.
She's been saying all season she doesn't like Angela. Angela's another target. It's just the odds of Melody doing something to hurt Devens are far less than Lyric or Rome or even Jason at this point.
And it's possible that Drew might be able to help pull Melody away from that.
Yes, because what we know about Drew will magically just like appear in any room at the right time and tell people whatever he needs to tell them to get him on his side.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like they have been growing a bit closer. They're playing pool, they're hanging out.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's a friendship there.
All right, let's get into complaining because there is so much complaining going on right now. And this is, you know, we talk about this in the YouTube memberships video, like how hard it is for newbies to do well in a season like this. Mallory has just straight up clocked production on a lot of it in a conversation with Melody here.
Absolutely.
Like, she went into how the first three vets, they were the only ones eligible to win that first
That's
HOH.
right.
You know what happens if you're the first HOH? You get to build alliances. Like,
That's
you get to
right.
have people all around you, right?
Or you win. I mean, it happens a lot.
Yeah, and then she also went into just the obvious thing here that there's an advantage or a punishment that's being voted on, but
That's
there's
right.
a chance for an advantage. Who is America gonna vote for? The people they already have a relationship with.
Absolutely. I think the three vets are all going to end up with either their punishment or their award. And then there's three other people that will be able to get something, and it will very likely not be Mallory.
Mallory is starting to produce, though, one of my favorite subplots of the season. Mallory just hates Dee. Like, she just has this one-sided feud with Dee. I know Dee put her on the block, and that's a big motivation, but, like, she is making up stuff in her head now. She's getting to, oh, Dee's pushing for me to be a replacement nominee. We need Dee out right away. I wish Dee wasn't a part of the cast. Mallory, I get it. I understand it, but it's not as bad as you think it is.
Yeah, I mean, Dee, I did have that conversation with Devens before nominations about Mallory, where he's just like, oh man, I don't want to put Mallory back up. Dee's like, oh yeah, but you know, Mallory's doesn't like me, he's coming after me, kind of thing. Yeah, that is a thing. So, you know, just so we'll keep it in the back of mind. But I understand what's going on here. Like, it's one-sided, but Dee's aware of it. So while it's one-sided, it's kind of not. At least Dee knows that Mallory is a problem. If Mallory gets into power, Dee is in trouble.
Yeah, she is. And I think that's why Dee is smart to at least keep the awareness out there for it. Like,
yes,
Mallory may not be a target this week, but down the road, certainly. I think Dee is just somebody who's just making sure people are aware of Mallory, you know, the potential threat that Mallory poses to her without enforcing her opinions. Like, this is, once again, why Dee is very, very good at Big Brother and Survivor. Like, she will make her voice heard, but she's just not going to shout it across the room. Whereas I think Devens and Angela, like, neither one of them can just ultimately help themselves with this.
They cannot help themselves. Messy feed.
Messy. Okay, speaking of messy, let's continue with Jason, who is just ranting, and it's like, now we finally understand more of why Jason can't stand Rick Devens, and it has been this way from the very start. Jason has basically recognized that Devens has taken his place in what he was supposed to be in this game, and he is just bitter about it, and he is probably never going to be able to let it go.
Yes, it's so confusing and it's tough because I've said before, I still stand on this, that I think Jason thought that he was going to be the only reality star in a group of newbies because they didn't know that there was going to be anybody returning this season. And I think he felt really confident he was going to have a huge moment in the house, that he revealed that he was on a reality show and he would be the only person there. Then he gets into this house. It's revealed that there are three other reality stars there. And because he decided to hide that he had been on reality TV before, he is not able to really have that big, huge moment in the house. Like, all of us watching know that he's been on a reality show, but the people in the house don't know that. And because there are huge reality stars on, I mean, Devens is a huge reality star, that for him, he may be sitting back being like, okay, I'm a reality star, but like, Devens is a bigger reality star. He may be worried about that. And because he's decided that he's going to hide this, he can't have that big moment while you've got Rick Devens in this game. It's really difficult.
Well, yeah, and he's also in a spot now that because he's been caught in lies and the whole Angela situation happened, like, he can't come clean with it now because now it's going to be yet another lie. Like, there's only so many lies you're going to be able to get out there before, like, nobody is ever going to trust you again. Like, if he ever thought he was going to be making some sort of TV moment here, like, I hesitate to bring up a certain player from Big Brother 16 who is related to a famous person who clearly wanted that moment. It's just like, there's no way that Jason can get that equivalent moment anymore without tanking his game even further.
No, and he has already told someone in the house about his reality past. And if he really wanted that moment, and I think he was trying to recreate that moment from Frankie,
Yes.
that moment can't really happen. He has been hiding it. That's fine. He could have come out with it, but somebody already knows about this moment. And on top of it, he's just been making so many enemies that by the time this moment comes out, everybody's so mad at him.
So he is a little bit of fight aftermath here. He's trying to still smooth things over with Angela. Like, he's offering her a deal, 3 weeks of safety if she makes a vote in order to keep him. And I think Angela's one of these people because she is in the Toolshed Alliance. She's a part of a big group. She's not going to, I think, want to go against whatever that alliance is. And that means if Rome's up there against Jason, like, she'll probably vote to evict Rome, but that's because of everybody else. I don't think that has anything to do with the deal that Jason is offering her right now.
Angela doesn't need Jason, and she shouldn't trust him after everything that. There is no rebuilding that. She has the votes. If, Jason ends up staying and he's HOH, he throws her on the block, I just don't think she goes. Like, it's just the way it is.
All right, we've spent some time complaining. I mean, watching other people complain. I say complaining for us because I'm about to complain about Yash for a couple of minutes here. So.
Okay, my beef hat's still on. Let's go with the Yash.
I cannot stand Yash. I have officially come to this decision. I am really mad that Ashley is out of the game. Yes, I know she did it to herself. She's incredibly messy. But you know what? At least Ashley was entertaining, and at least Ashley would probably do some other ridiculous things that would have made us laugh.
Probably. I mean, she wasn't a great player, but she was definitely going to be messy feeds, which is what I'm here for.
Yeah, like Yash is just a combination of a lot of bad things. I mean, for starters, he's a bad player. Like, he still thinks that Rome is his dude, even though Rome has thrown him under the bus, even though Rome did not fight to protect him in any of these conversations that Devens blew up. Like, Yash cannot see the forest through the trees on some of this stuff.
No.
Like, he's so clueless that there's no discussion of adding him to the tool shed, even though he is closer with some of those people than other people in the underdogs are, just because you don't know what he's going to do with that information. And it's just like, he's so in the dark. There's no guarantee he's even going to believe any of that anyway.
I can't wait for Yash to go.
I cannot wait for Yash to go, especially just because, like, here is the other thing that made itself very apparent yesterday. Yash, he does not seem to want to work with women. And it just seems like he speaks about women in a way that I don't like. I'm just going to put it that way and be very blunt with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's fine. If he doesn't want to work with the women, I don't have a problem with that. I've never been a person that's just like, oh, all the girls have to stick together because they're all girls. All the boys have to. That's fine. You don't want to work with the women, don't work with the women. But you don't have to be a jerk about it and say things that are just like really off-putting about women in general. Like, just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, he had this conversation, a lot of dudes were there. It's just like, it just felt very immature, where he's talking about not being attracted to women who are muscular because they're not masculine, they're too masculine. And it was just really, it was eye rolling. It was off putting. But here is where I come to sing praises for my girl Melody, because like, she is here for some of this, and she's playing the game, and obviously when you're playing the game in a moment like this, you can't say everything you want to say. But at one point Yash makes this comment, it's like, I've never really had a relationship with the girl before, and I know, it's
shocking.
And Melody says this, she says it in a way that's joking enough, but you can tell that she's not joking, where she's like, well, maybe that's the sweetest thing you can do for women. And I was just like, I love how shady Melody is. Like, she keeps some things I feel confident that she's going to stick around in the game this week, and I still feel excited and hopeful for what she can do. She's just been given a really, really bad deal early on in this game, and like, I am unfortunately now banking on your guy Drew, who is, she's not a top priority, but you still want to keep her around, Drew. She's a number for you.
I think their friendship is just building really nicely, and I think that Drew will try to protect her if he's able to. And if it's all kind of plays out at the right moment where Drew knows he needs to get rid of some of the vets later on in the game, Melody could be that person that he's really built that good relationship with, where it's time to cut the vets and start getting them out of the game.
Yeah, and I think she would do it. And I think she's she's smart. I think she's capable of winning an endurance competition. Like, there's a
Mhm.
lot of things Melody does bring to the table
Yeah.
there. Okay, well, that is where we are coming out of day 13 of Big Brother 28. Like,
Mhm.
we know that Devens is going to put Rome up on the block, but who do
Yep.
you guys think he should save and why? Who are you rooting for to leave this week? Let us know and join our YouTube memberships for that discussion of what newbies can do to survive in a returning player
Mhm.
environment like this. Thank you guys so much for your support.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate that, and we will see you here next time.